Hello everybody. Welcome back. Friday Night Live. Woohoo, it's Friday. So I've been having some Wi-Fi issues, so I apologize. I'm just a little bit later than what I thought. Troubleshooting seems to be the name of the game, in my world anyway, and I really hope that you can hear me okay. So once anyone joins in, I'd love it if you could give me a thumbs up or let me know if my sound is okay. So I titled this one, it's a quote from a 12-year-old boy named Campbell, who was featured on a video that I found on Facebook. And so I've been thinking about that kid a lot. And he says, being kind and not mean will change the world a lot. And that really struck me. This boy, this young man, sews teddy bears out of the kindness of his heart to give to kids who are sick or in the hospital. And he's been doing it for a few years. So at age 9, he felt compelled to give kids teddy bears. And he comes from a very large family. And so his mom was a little bit concerned about how to cover for that financially, and he said, okay, well, I'll do it myself. And she thought that he'd be drawing bears, but instead he found a way to sew bears himself. He went to Google and downloaded patterns, bear patterns, and figured it out, and has he collects donations, and he does it because he knows that it brings smiles on kids' faces and it helps them feel better. And I just loved that. I thought that was such a heartwarming story. And so I actually posted it on my personal profile page. I think I'm going to post it here on this page as well, just because I think it's worthwhile. Everybody just taking a few minutes out of their lives and being inspired by what this 12-year-old is doing with his free time. So, it got me thinking. Sorry, I don't have my tripod today, so I'm propping up my phone there. It got me thinking, in what ways can we be kind? In what ways that might be small, it might take a lot of time, it might not take very much time at all. Can we be kind in order to change the world? And so I'd love to hear different ways that you all come up with, that you feel that you can think of just a small thing that you can do out of kindness to help brighten someone else's day, and see how that trickles out. I just thought that was really astute. Being kind and not mean will change the world a lot. And that's true. There are people who are pretty upset these days, it seems, and I notice a lot of agitation. And what I practice, and what I encourage people to practice this, because it helps me out, is to get out of the high emotion of a circumstance or someone's opinion and step into the observer mode. So no one is right or wrong when you're observing them or when you're observing a situation. You can just take note of it and be as neutral as you can. And by, there I go again, slipping. I feel like my little microphone is a little loose, so bear with me there. So my point is that when we can be neutral, as opposed to feeling super agitated one way or another, then we can be in an observation mode, and life can flow through more easily. And there's less of the drama that can sometimes surround us during times of change, or when the holidays come up, that really can trip people up a lot. There's a lot of joy and happiness, and there can also be a lot of stress, which can come from pressure of wanting to see as many people as you can, which is a good and fun thing, but it can also just have some undue pressure on people, and driving on the roads becomes interesting, right? Everyone's doing their holiday shopping. Maybe they're not getting what they want. So, it's good to continue to remind yourself to come from a place of kindness. And sometimes when I'm on the road and boy, traffic can be so thick and heavy. A lot of times it's because of accidents on the road during rush hour. Not all the time. Sometimes it's just because there's just a mass of cars on the road. And in the past, I recall, it's easy to get frustrated when you're stuck in traffic. And then when I think about what is it that's causing that heavy traffic, and it could be someone else's agitation, then I want to send out a different vibe and frequency and see if maybe I can help soothe that, what's going on. And I'm not the only one. I've talked to other people who do this. And so I just send out good thoughts, I just sending blessings to everyone involved. Send it out forward to the cars in front of you, behind you, a mile away. And if nothing else, it helps to put me in a brighter space. And it helps me feel better about where I am and a little bit less stressed about things. And so that's one example. It doesn't mean that you have to go sewing teddy bears from scratch to hand out to people, but there are things that you can do, and ways that you can brighten up someone's day that makes such a difference. And I've said in the past, and I continue to feel that it's all about perspective. And when we can choose a perspective that feels better for us, then we're on the right track, because we can shape the way our day goes. We can shape the way our lives go. We can shape the interactions that we have with others, because remember, it's a co-creation. Our interacting with anyone else, it's a two-way street or a multiple-way street, depending on how many people you're interacting with. So we're not at the effect of everybody. We participate in conversations or in exchanges, written exchanges, whatnot. So we're in control. And I really feel comfort in that. Whenever I can remind myself that I'm in control, and I know that other people are in control too. We're all in control of our actions, whether we recognize that or not. Hey, give me a thumbs up or a hello. Who's there joining me? I would love to hear from you. I'm basically talking about how we can, we can send out a positive frequency around us to help shift and help form how our lives go. And we can choose our thoughts and we can choose our actions. That's what I mean by saying we're in control. We have choices, and it's important that we choose wisely. And we don't always make the best choices, and sometimes we'll see, consequences that we're maybe not so thrilled with. And we're in control, and we have a choice of what to do in the next step and how to handle that consequence and how to take our next step. So some people say that's called a mistake, and that's fine. You can look at it as a mistake. You can look at it as a failure, or you can look at it as just the next step in your everyday life, and where are you going to take it from here? So those are my thoughts for the night, this Friday night, and thanks for joining me. If not live, then I'm glad that you're joining on the replay, and feel free to leave a comment. It would be great to hear what you think, and let's have a little discussion, in what ways can you brighten up someone else's world and shed some brightness around you. All right, everybody, happy Friday or Saturday if you're in Aussie land, and have a fantastic weekend, and look forward to seeing you next time.